Hello there, people of the internet. So today's probably going to be a quick-ish video. We'll see about that. You're also going to hear Kevin screaming. He's especially noisy today. Those who don't know who Kevin is, he's my peacock. I got 4 of them. They're loud birds, but man, are they pretty, and boy do I love them. So I had one of these before. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I made a video on it on my channel. This right here is the Taurus G2C. Cheap little polymer frame handgun. As far as polymer frame handguns go, you can pick yourself up something pretty inexpensively nowadays. This particular one is striker fired. You'll find hammer fired. You'll find, single action, double action, etc., etc. My little Taurus G2C here, when safety's not on, she's both single action and double action. So if you're running old ammo or something and your round doesn't fire, you don't have to get rid of the round. You can just pull the trigger again, see if it sets off that time. If it doesn't set off that time, you're better off just re-racking it. Well, I went down to my local gun store. My CCW that I've been using was the STR9 that I got. Great little gun, but it's a little on the large side. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. And a lot of times I'm feeling lazy, or like I got basketball shorts on or sweatpants or something like that. I just feel like running to the store. I wanted to get myself a pocket pistol. I got a little aftermarket holster I can toss this thing into, and it works pretty well. It doesn't print very much, especially because this is a nice tiny little gun. Now, despite how much smaller this is than the STR9, it has a 12 round capacity, whereas the STR9 has a 15 round capacity. So quite a bit smaller and not that much less firepower. I'm also going to point out I really like the trigger in this one as compared to the STR9. I feel like these right here would be more accurate if the sights on these typically didn't shoot a foot high or a foot low, which is very common for your cheaper self-defense polymer frame handguns. The gun store that I frequent, they had G3Cs as well. I opted not to get one of those and to get a G2C instead, simply because the sights, I like the sights better. The G3C takes Glock sights, but why get a gun where I have to swap out the sights when the G2C, I like the sights on it as is. Now, the main point of me being out here is to see where the point of aim on this handgun is. It's either going to be high or low, and I'll adjust accordingly. But I figure, if I carry this gun on occasion, I want to make sure it runs right. I haven't shot this yet, and I want to see where the point of impact is so I can adjust my sights accordingly. Now, another big selling point on the G2C compared to the 3C, I like the trigger on the G2C a lot better. I don't know if the G3C has some sort of additional safety features in the trigger, but it feels a lot more gritty. It feels like I said, it feels a lot more gritty. The texture of the trigger just is not nearly as good as the G2C. I'm sure after you break it in some, it would probably be alright, but I didn't feel like doing that, especially with the price of ammunition. Now, my gun dealer I go to normally gives me half-decent prices on the firearms that I buy, just because I frequent that place so much, and I imagine he's made quite a few dollars off of me. But I walked out with this thing and 2 magazines for like 230 bucks, so I'm not complaining about that at all. Assuming that this handgun fires and doesn't, impact stupidly distance away. But yeah, 2 12-round mags. They're not flush-fitting mags, but boy, having that pinky rest right there on the magazine itself makes this a much more comfortable gun to grip onto. Alright, well, let's toss these ears on and take a trip down memory lane. I haven't had a G2C in quite a while, but the one I did have, it didn't have the black slide. It had like a silver slide on it, and it was a pretty gun, don't get me wrong, but I like the black slide. I like the way that this looks as well. This area does have a loaded chamber indicator, does have a manual safety on it, slide lock. Whenever your magazine is empty, the slide will lock open, and the sights have little white dots on it, which really helps with blind people like me, because seeing black sights, it's doable, but it's not easy. Alright, I'm just going to lob some lead down on my steel silhouette down there. I went ahead and I got it freshly painted. We're going to see where the rounds impact. Now bear in mind, I'm not the best shot with a handgun, so I'm going to aim center mass and we'll see where we hit. That looked a little bit low, but we didn't hit it. Alright, I think I pulled that one a little right. Yep, I'm definitely pulling right there. Alright, well, we had a failure to fire on that one. I don't know why that was a failure to fire. That shot there was right on, and I feel like these others should be too. Let's try the double action since that was a failure to fire. Well, double action was pretty nice. Looks like I'm pulling right. Let me readjust my trigger finger. That might not have been a readjustment proper. There we go. Alright, still pulling a little right. Okay, yeah, I should have it now. Right, there we go. Little readjustment of the trigger finger right there. Every gun has that special sweet spot where you got to seek your trigger finger, and my grouping isn't exactly great at this distance, but I'll get used to this trigger and I'll learn where to put my finger. At least now, well, now it looks like I'm hitting a little left. I might have adjusted a little too far. Firing handguns is one of those things that if you don't use it, you lose it. And with the ammo prices, I haven't gotten nearly the amount of firearms training that I'd like with my handguns. But on the bright side, this thing fired all but once, but that might have been the ammunition. I'm using just this cheapo steel case ammo, and this stuff has been sitting around for quite some time, so yeah, that might have been the ammo. Alright, well, we got through one mag of cheap steel case. Let's run it through the other. We just... there we go. Okay. Well, now I'm hitting low. Am I still hitting low? Goddamn. There we go. Alright, yeah, this gun definitely fires a little low. Another failure to fire. Well, it was on our last round. And yes, we did hit the primer, so it is an ammo problem. There we go. Made sure I hit that last one. This does seem to fire a little low. Took me a little while to figure that out, but after I saw the concrete being smashed repeatedly, I figured it out pretty quick. Trigger on this is actually really nice. I just got to figure out where my finger placement needs to be. I think I kind of have it figured out after 2 magazines. Yeah, I'd say that right there would probably be good. And I got to aim about 6 inches high in order to hit center. So, like I said, I'll adjust the sight accordingly. Looks like the rear sight on these things are adjustable, so I'll go ahead and do what I got to do with that. And I bet if I were firing, you know, actual decent ammo, I wouldn't have those issues with it failing to fire. We did have primer strikes, so it's not the gun, it's the ammo. This ammo here is a little on the old side, and I haven't exactly kept it in good conditions. But hey, we did make hits on target. Looks like a good majority of them were low, though. Like I said, this thing does seem to fire a little low. After my finger adjustment, we're getting closer and closer to center target. So a bit more practice with this thing, and I bet I'd have it pretty spot on. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to check this thing out, figured I'd make a video on it. I will say that loading single feed double stack magazines absolutely sucks without a feeding tool, so I'm probably going to get a feeding tool for this thing. I've been using like a flathead screwdriver to push the bullets down, but you got to be really careful, because if you slip and that screwdriver goes through your hand, suddenly that ends up not being worth it. So keep an eye out for that. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this kind of stuff and want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. If you like the video, do me a favor and actually like the video. That definitely helps out with YouTube's anti-gun algorithm. Get out of here. Check out the description down below. You're going to find a link to social media, Discord, whatever else is down there, gaming channel, Patreon, other stuff I'm sure that I'm forgetting about. Okay, well, that being said, I have a doctor's appointment that I have to go get ready for. And looking at the time, yeah, I gotta go. So, thanks for watching, guys. You guys go off. Have a fantastic day. And I guess I'm going to get more practice in with this handgun because I feel like I could really tighten up those groups once I learn finger placement and once I readjust those sights so it doesn't shoot low. Because as of, I don't know, 30 yards or so, maybe 25, somewhere in there, we shoot about 6 inches low. So out to a further distance, if I ever need to use this thing, I need to be more spot on because I don't want to be shooting at the guy and, you know, hitting 10 feet in front of him on the ground. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'll make the adjustments. You guys go off. Have a fantastic day. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.